In God we trust, all others pay cash. Recently, I was in a convenience store and I saw that sign on the wall over the cash register. What does it mean to trust? We are now in the fourth week of Advent, and today our attention is drawn to the figures of the Holy Family. We meet Joseph, a righteous man, stunned by the news that his betrothed... Can I start over?
Sure.
Okay.
Or,
It's just
Yep. No.
Okay, just let me know when to start. Okay.
Okay. In 5, 4, 3.
Recently, I walked into a convenience store and I saw a sign over the cash register. In God we trust, all others pay cash. Obviously, that person did not want to accept personal checks. What about us in our relationship with God? Do we trust in God, or do we want guarantees? In this fourth week of Advent, as we begin to count down the days to Christmas, the liturgy proposes us the figures of Mary and Joseph. Joseph is the feature in Matthew's Gospel. We are told the story of the birth of Jesus through his eyes. And he has just discovered some very stunning, painful news. Mary, his betrothed, is pregnant. What was God asking of him in this impossible situation? He was a law-abiding man, and his first instinct must have been to do what the law allowed and indeed expected of him in this situation: to break off the engagement quietly, to avoid scandal. But you know, Joseph's love for Mary was such that this option must have been very painful for him to consider. So what could he do? He felt betrayed, obviously. What could it all mean? Luckily, Joseph did not only hear the voice of the law. Joseph also heard the voice of God speaking to him in a dream. And in that dream, he was called to embrace a new vocation, to be not only the husband of Mary, but to be the father of her son, who was also the Son of God. In this difficult and confusing situation, Joseph remained attuned to the will and heart of God, and he trusted that God would give him the strength to fulfill his calling, even when he couldn't understand what was happening and why it was happening to him. So Joseph trusted in God. But we might say also, and this is really important, that God trusted Joseph and Mary. Imagine, think about that. God was sending his son into the world, a beautiful world to be sure, a wonderful world, but one in which his beloved son would face many dangers and hardships. What did God the Father want for his son? Not the trappings of wealth and power, but the security of growing up in a family, with parents who loved him, protected him, and risked everything for his sake. This was the best possible gift that God could want for his son. And in Joseph and Mary, that gift became a reality. Jesus came into the world through a relationship of trust between God, Mary, and Joseph. Those of you who are parents know that parents naturally desire to provide what is best for their children. But ultimately they know that once they have done all that they can, their children finally belong to God. And God's loving care for us is beyond what we can imagine. So as we enter into these last days before Christmas, let us ask the Holy Family of Jesus, Mary, and Joseph to inspire us to live in faith and in trust. As individuals, in our families, at work, wherever we happen to be, so that we can truly wait in joyful hope for the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ. God bless you.